In 2017, the world was introduced to Aloy, a headstrong orphan who became the savior of Meridian. Horizon Zero Dawn was an ambitious game, blending storytelling, giant deadly machines, and a unique combat system into one exciting journey. It was a good game, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't necessarily love it. It had issues with cinematics, some clunky parkour, and the world felt a bit samey from time to time. Given that it was a new IP, it could have only gotten better from there, and Horizon Forbidden West is proof of that.
Don't let them surround you!
Horizon Forbidden West as a package is an exceptional game. It is bigger, tells a better story with deeper, more touching characters, and exploration feels more exhilarating than ever before. Most importantly, Zero Dawn built the foundations where Forbidden West has grown from. Everything has been improved. Parkour is fluid, easier, and feels more natural than ever. Character interactions have all been brilliantly acted out with mocap animations and backed up by fantastic voice work. However, the biggest gem in Forbidden West is the West itself. It is absolutely gobsmackingly gorgeous, and you have to truly experience the sheer scale of the world around you to believe what I'm saying.
Something nearby is sending that signal.
The mountains shoot high up to the sky as Aloy ventures through the valleys beneath them. The coastline runs blue with clear water crashing into the shore. Even the dullest areas in the game, like the deserts, come to life with obscuring sandstorms that turn the sky orange and the distance foggy. There was one particular moment very early into the game that I will never forget. Aloy ventures into the border of the west and takes a lift down to the bottom. I was taken back by the beauty of the scene and sat in disbelief by the sheer scale of the world around me. Little did I know that it was just the start of the game, and this feeling was going to happen a few times over and over the next few weeks. While Horizon Zero Dawn had a great world to explore, Forbidden West feels more alive, and the vertical size of each area really makes Aloy feel like a small human exploring an overwhelming land. It also helps that the game sets this up for you very early on, with a lot of talk about the West being more dangerous, bigger and deadlier than anywhere else. So while the West is an achievement in game world design, Forbidden West also excels in its storytelling and general gameplay loop. A lot of the game's focus this time around is on the whole tribe setting, as various groups of people control different parts of the West. Aloy, while being on her own mission to save the world and stop the Red Blight, among other things I won't spoil here, she is a Nora warrior, and she unwillingly gets roped into all the drama taking place in the West with all these tribes.
What in charge?
I knew I heard something.
It's a lot of machine parts.
Thankfully, all these tribes contribute to the game's pace in a positive way, and not only grow the game world thanks to their presence across each region, but also throw in some memorable quests and characters to meet along the way.
You're the one who spoke before the chorus. Maybe you can help.
Guerrilla Games managed to create some excellent characters in Aloy's journey, and even the side quests, which are often handed out by some random tribe member, resulted in a deep and meaningful interaction and conversation that I wanted to dive into.
She was to join the chorus. She went up to the promontory to perform the rite of discovery, but she must have fallen.
The sheer production values behind each and every line of dialogue in this game completely blew me away. Not one single conversation I had in the Forbidden West felt disjointed.
Wave just crashed beneath us. Shaken. When that stirred, I built the diving bubbles Mark 1.
Instead, everything is acted out with superb facial animations, and even the smaller details like the NPC cooking or fiddling with an object made the chat feel authentic.
Thinks I'm insane. But I can't give up now.
I was immersed, focused and obsessed with meeting everyone around me, and it was all thanks to the exceptional attention to detail in these chats. I never ever skipped a line of dialogue either, because why would I want to? It looks magical on screen.
You guys don't seem like average delvers.
Aloy also gets up to all sorts of things throughout the game, and this quest design is top notch here too. Every quest pushed me further into the West's lore and tribes. If I wasn't helping out the Utaru, a nature-based tribe that believes the machines are gods, it was choosing a side and possibly starting a war during a dispute between the Desert Clan. These tribes also mean business, and their stories and lives became part of my day. Their presence in the West has also been carefully molded into not only the game world, but also the game's story and lore too. The West oozes this theme in every scene, and it also helps carry the exploration. Every turn had a new settlement to walk into, people to chat to, and some drama Aloy had to help out with. Never mind her own quest, you know, the one that really matters. She was also trying to deal with Regala, who was slowly building an army of machines to take over all these tribes.
Seem to know a lot about Tanak's tactics.
Back when the Tanakh clans pushed back the Karja raiders, I joined the fight.
The Tanakh taught you how to fight?
More than that, they taught me how to work with metal. I'm probably the only Utoro who can.
Anyone who has played Zero Dawn will feel right at home here, as Horizon Forbidden West's gameplay loop remains mostly the same. Deadly machines live across the land, and Aloy needs to either dismantle them by tearing off parts or kill them for other parts. The West has brought with it some new exciting machines, but they are also deadly and switch up the combat too. New elements like plasma and adhesive add new ways to take machines down. Plasma builds up a large explosion if you deal damage over time. Adhesive creates a glue stick lump across the machine if you shoot it enough. Of course, Aloy can also be affected by these elements, so I had to keep that in mind too. There are also new weapons and traps to equip to help in the fight. The spike thrower is literally a throwable spike that explodes on impact. The new weapons, combined with new coils, new weapons and new machines, gave me a lot of room to experiment with different playstyles and builds. I mostly used the hunter bow and a sharp shot bow with a bit of a blastling and bolt blaster here and there. I also tried to use an outfit that gave me buffs in melee combat because getting up close and personal in the game looked amazing and felt great too. The skill trees mainly revolve around whatever type of approach you want to take. I maxed out warrior for melee, hunter for bows and survivor for resources. I didn't touch trap at all because I didn't use traps much. I didn't want to sneak around this time and plant stuff either. I wanted a loud and guns blazing approach in Horizon Forbidden West, and it was pretty fantastic when it came to life. It also let me focus on upgrading my gear and constantly being on the lookout for a machine I needed for a certain part I had to tear off to make this upgrade. There was always a machine I had on my list, and even if I had never seen it before, I wanted its eyeballs and sacks to improve my bow. The machines leave a lot to be discovered too. I really don't want to spoil any new ones for you, but there are dozens of new builds to fight and even mount. If you think the Thunderjaw is the coolest and most powerful, then you have a storm coming. I often shouted, "What the f*** was that?" at a massive machine that popped out from behind the mountains. I then sat there for a few minutes scanning each of its parts to see what I could get from hitting off what piece, planned my attack and dived right in. Let's not forget that all this happens on land and in sea now. Speaking of which, exploration in Horizon Forbidden West has expanded above and below. Aloy spends a lot of time underwater discovering locations and even coming into contact with machines. Getting around is easy enough. She can dodge and swim up and down. I won't say it is perfect and it can be a bit cumbersome, but hey, swimming away from a machine isn't easy in the first place. Aloy can also climb seamlessly across specific surfaces now too. Scanning a hillside revealed yellow lines and dots where she could climb on. This made getting up large mountain cliffs easy and also felt great. I did have some issues with her missing jumps and interactions, and over jumping a pole or a rope, a common issue with games with this sort of parkour. Her glider also comes in handy a lot. Given the game's sheer scale now, I spent a lot of time high up on mountain trails. The glider made it easy to just leap off and slowly float down without dying. It is also a nice way to take in the game's beauty on the way down. You'll also get other story-related gear during the game, but you can discover that yourself. I also want to mention Machine Strike, a fully fledged war game in Horizon Forbidden West that has been designed with some incredible detail. In the game, Aloy gets strike pieces that move across the board with certain elements. They can then attack opponents' pieces and deal extra damage if you move them to a certain terrain. Each strike piece has also been designed with specific weak points on different sides of the wooden carving. Mastering each piece, its terrain buff and weak points are key to beating your opponent. You can also buy new strike pieces and take on different opponents throughout the game. You may overlook this minigame, but it is very fun and just another fantastic thing to experience in this brilliant game.
Time for me to step up.
Horizon Forbidden West is a gem. I knew it was going to be good, but I had no idea it was going to be this good. The world is beaming with beauty, the characters are exceptionally written, and Aloy's quest is an unforgettable one that has some dark twists and surprising turns. It all feels so much more focused this time around. Aloy is especially great to be around, and watching her grow in this game is another heartwarming experience on its own. Simply put, you don't get games like this every day, making Horizon Forbidden West one of the best games on PlayStation. And that's my thoughts on Horizon Forbidden West. It was a really beautiful game, and it is huge. You're going to spend dozens of hours running around the West, killing monsters and doing quests. But are you looking forward to the game? Let us know in the comments down below. Once again, thanks for watching everybody. Please do like and subscribe, it really does help. Make sure to visit www.glitch.online for all your Horizon Forbidden West news and coverage. And until next time, farewell.